Hello everybody, Mr. Moo here in the cockpit, here in Elite Dangerous, here in Narvert, where we are in an expansion state, and that means no screwing around today, nothing fancy, nothing really neat or mad engineering going on, just doing a lot of space trucking and chatting with folks who come in to see what's going on. In the words of Jerry Reed, a long ways to go and a short time to get there. But first, gotta give some credit where credit is due, and that is to Mayberts, thank you so much for the follow, as well as Death Nuts. Thank you both so much. Welcome to the Moo Crew. Hope you enjoy your stay. Okay, so what do we got? We've got a lot of stuff here in Narvert. We got a bunch of stuff to give out. Expansion data couriering. So we're in the Merchant Marine today. As always, I've got Alex at my side, a Hank at my feet, and a Yuki somewhere. Oh, howdy, Hank. Every time I say Hank's name, his tail just goes ka-thump. Lights on?
Lights on.
Oh yeah, and there's also a slight murder charge. We won't talk about that much, unless I'm asked. All right, Alex, let's hit our first stop here.
Greetings to all visitors. Please alight at your assigned pad, and thanks for choosing this facility.
Gear up.
Gear coming in.
Ship detach complete. Departure authorized.
And because I may end up having to smuggle myself back into the station, we're flying aboard the Outrunner today. This is my custom Python. I have got this thing modified pretty darn well, I think.
Speed restrictions are now lifted. Have a safe trip, Commander.
I'm running the reduced output engines. Lower thermal signature. Grade 5 dirty drive tune for higher speed. This thing can stay in cool mode for quite a bit. If I turn off the vents and go silent running, this thing will stay cold for a while. Helped out by the fact that I'm running the heatsink launchers on board. But targets may be sent against us. Well, enemies may be sent against us, but with the Outrunner, unless it's something really, really special, they're targets. So with the expansion state, we won't actually know where we've expanded to until the state ends. And then we check the local news feed at Glidden Enterprise and see where we expanded to. El Danny! Ahoy hoy there, sir! Yeah, long time, it's been a bit. How was the grand tour? I did catch it, and I would agree with that statement. I think that episode 1 of season 2 of the Grand Tour beat anything they did in season 1. Though James May looks really weird with short hair. Yeah, now it's a matter of fine-tuning. I would agree there as well. I kind of wish they hadn't gotten rid of their racing driver, but I mean, the American shtick just wasn't working. I mean, if they'd just brought in, like, you know, I don't know. If they'd just let him be himself instead of the character of the American, I mean, maybe play up the NASCAR angle a bit, have him sign autographs or slap a sticker on every car he drives, something like that. But yeah, for the most part, improvements across the board, I'd say.
Delay Kilo Yankee Lima. Please comply with access protocols before commencing docking procedures.
Falcon to Lacey, Kilo Yankee Lima, request docking clearance.
Orbital rendezvous procedures initiated.
Permission granted. Set course for landing pad 26.
Copy 2-6. Gear down.
Down and locked.
Docking bay access is bidirectional. Please keep the airlock clear at all times. Thank you.
Okay, that'd be kind of funny, but I think they'd run into a little bit of trouble with the stereotyping. Maybe, you know, just a wee bit. Right plant, where am I delivering this stuff to? Hoyle Estate and Hoyle Estate. Alright. Yeah, I would agree. I liked I loved the cheap car challenges on the original Top Gear. Well, the original. The really, really long-running remake. Gear up. Gear up.
Take care when
Landing
leaving
gear.
station.
Though I will say that, still, hands down, well, in my top 3, yeah, the remake no one recognizes as a remake. My top 3 Top Gear events were number 3, well, I can't remember. Number 2, the race of the Cessna versus the Veyron. That was absolutely amazing. Oh, I know, number 3, the, can you buy a supercar for under 10,000 pounds? Number 2, the race against a Veyron across Europe. That's the first episode I ever saw. And when they showed that car, I thought, holy crap, it's the Batmobile. And then they start playing Danny Elfman's Batman theme. And number one, my favorite Top Gear episode, well, challenge. Can you kill a Toyota Hilux?
All clear. Goodbye, Commander.
Hands down my favorite. The Hilux is a mighty unkillable vehicle. And it even comes in a nice shade of orky red. Because that is the kind of vehicle that, I should go down to the model shop at some point and pick up a Hilux, an 80s Hilux model kit, and see if I can't make it into some kind of orky truck for $40K. Well, crap. I'm glad you made it out, though. Galaxy map.
Stellar cartography.
Where's that place this way? It's, 63G Capricorni. Well, glad you made it out in one piece. Even if it's, even if you lost 61% of that piece. Vietnam Special, buying and insuring cars for young drivers, finding the source of the Nile. That was a good one, I will admit. Alright, good, got that set up. Couldn't see if I had my chat up on screen. And yes, I can tell now, yes I do. Let's close that down. There. Alright. Okay, we're good. Yep, back in the bubble there was a minor incident with a cat, and a major incident with a star. Request docking clearance? Alex, request docking.
Request done.
Boarding permission granted.
Gear down.
Deploying landing module.
Successful. Engines disengaged.
Oh, I didn't spectacularly fail. I, spectacularly survived, and unfortunately it was all off stream. But no, Hank took the moment that I was mid-jump to get sick. Well, that meant I had to jump up. Forgot all about the ship while I was cleaning that up, and when I turned back to my screen, oh, everything's on fire. That's no good. I would have used my repair limpets, but my cargo hatch burned off. That's kind of what it looked like, to be honest. Oh, I survived the trial by star and trial by cat. I just decided, you know, it might be time to come back and cash in while I'm in such shape as to do so. Yeah, you missed a Thargoid kill, but that one I did catch on camera. So now I get to smuggle myself back into Narvert. Gear up.
Engines gear up.
Yeah, that was another case of distracted flying at a critical moment. I'd just wrapped up the Thargoid and my phone rang. And two things. One, I didn't know that a Thargoid was a space-going version of a Thin Man, and when you killed him, there was this massive corrosive cloud. Oops. It's near the end-ish somewhere, but yeah, there was, I won't spoil it for you then. I'll just say that mistakes were made. So now I smuggle myself back into Narvert because of that pesky murder charge. Look, the guy was obviously a pirate. But like the RPG says, it's not what you know, it's what the computer knows. Fortunately, I've got the Outrunner, and that means I am built for stealth. If I need to be. Oh, he definitely deserved it, but... And it was like the last kill of the night. Me and Commander Niao were out here hunting in the Hazres. I was training up my AI pilot for the next time I go out and encounter a Thargoid. Actually, wait, I tell a lie. It may have actually been a civilian. It may have been the guy that the pirates were going after, but it was really bad luck because the pirate decided to chaff just at the moment as I opened fire, and I think some of my shots went wide. And he didn't have any hull left to tank, so it turned into an assault and a murder charge. So that one is entirely on me, actually, because I did not let off the trigger when I saw the chaff going. Hello, local cops. Just me, coming in. No need to scan me. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Gear down.
Gear down.
Regulations reminder. Please do not obstruct the access corridor during arrival or departure.
So no, that he actually did not have it coming, but when my big ship opens fire, there's not much The thing throws a lot of lead in a hurry. Now this is interesting. That's Clary Port. That's Eisenstein. That's 7.5 million. Yeah, I was using Gunsight 1. 12 sentry skimmers. The Didic system, considered illegal. I've got a day and 4 hours. Yeah. Yeah. And Eisenstein. We need you to eliminate 12 sentry skimmers of the HIP 5881 Freedom Party. We have intelligence that says they're in HIP 5881. Was your secret agent just looking through a phone book by any chance? Just, you know, wild curiosity there. And encrypted data storage. Oh, that's in Harang. Maybe if I'm heading out that way with passengers. Anybody? Anybody? Bunch of business people want to go to the go to where I'm going, 5881. So we're going to toss this cargo bay. Maybe. Yep. And we are not actually going to do that because I don't have passenger or business class on this. Oh well. 12 skimmers. 12 skimmers. I either jump out, jump back in, jump out, jump back in, or... not worth it.
This facility offers a range of services. Check your information panel after docking for more details.
You're up.
Retracting landing.
Ship detach complete.
Quick summary of my experiences with the... keel back. Decent-ish ship. But for what I was using it for, I would have done better with a Type 6. I didn't get into any fights, so I didn't need the fighter bay. I needed more cargo transported, and even when I dumped the fighter bay for passenger transport, it didn't have enough. So I traded up to a Type 7. And the Type 7 was okay, other than the fact that it has that little Type 7 quirk, which is to say that it overheats the moment you look at the hyperdrive. No idea why, it just does. Type 7s just love to overheat. And like I was telling somebody on my YouTube comments, it's kind of like how, let's see here, let's find where I need to go here first. Calais Port.
Incoming mission critical message.
What do we got? Incoming enemies. Eagle Otios. Huh, it's worth 90 grand. Neat. Oh, he's a deadly anaconda. Interesting.
Incoming mission critical message.
So no, Type 7s, they just have this quirk. I mean, no matter what you... Even if you give them the best drives and the best power plant, they're going to overheat. Unless you engineer them. Well, I wasn't going to be sticking around with that ship long enough to engineer it, so I just learned to deal with it. Kind of like how, an old Ford Bronco 2 is prone to rolling over, or how, let's call it mid-80s to early 90s GMC vehicle is going to shed its paint. Seriously, I have never seen a GMC Jimmy from that era that had intact paint. It was all kind of just like it dissolved down to the primer. That Conda is still not on my scopes. But no, the keelback wasn't horrible, it just wasn't much of anything. It was astonishingly average. Maybe even a little below average for, what I needed it for. Still nothing. Well, we'll do a non-standard approach to the station here. It's so average, it's not bad. New plan. Aw, did he run? I think he ran. That would have been rather hilarious, I think. Falcon to Lacey, Kilo Yankee Lima, request docking clearance.
Requesting docking bay.
Approval granted. Plot route for approach to landing pad 15.
Copy 1-5. Yep, he disappeared.
Scan detected.
Gear down.
Landing gear deployed.
Oh? This is a thing, yes. What pre-Christmas gifts were gotten? Well, that's Merry Christmas. Knows when you've been sleeping, knows when you're awake, naughty, nice, etc. Yep. You got the full list ticked off there. That's Eisenstein, and that's Eisenstein. Alright. Anything to ship back to Narvert? That goes to Shuttleworth Station. Not too worried about that. Allied Narvert Autocracy. Nope, they can go. They can go do a family unfriendly thing. We have advent calendars. It's hit or miss whether it's a tradition to give, give presents. But yeah, we have the advent calendar. Gear up.
Landing gear raised.
Look out. Silly drivers.
All clear. Safe travels, Commander.
Orbital flight engaged.
Yeah, it's kind of... Some people do that, some don't, for Christmas here. It's not very widespread. I'll say that. Our family tradition was that we'd go and visit the grandparents or go visit other family on Christmas Eve. And then we'd stay at home and have some other family come visit us on Christmas Day. So we had two gift openings. And the occasional, massive fire. But... well, that one got mostly averted, and nobody saw the fireball except those who were looking at the reflection in my glasses at the time. Hello, Kobo! How you doing? Hope you're having a good week. Falcon to Lacey, Kilo Yankee Lima, request docking clearance.
Stand by.
Please submit a landing request on approach, Commander.
Even the best parking spot.
Please head directly for Bay 09er.
Gear down?
Down and locked.
No, you haven't missed much. We're in the Merchant Marine today. We're hauling a lot of materials for Narvert because they've entered an expansion state.
Scan detected.
So we're just kind of helping out as we can.
200 meters from touchdown.
Yeah, we did Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Christmas Day was usually the presents from Santa. I got some of the neatest stuff from Santa. Let's see here. Remove prison convict. Now, when they say remove... Yep. Data delivery to Shuttleworth. 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 Glidden. But somebody else. Now, if I take out that pirate lord in the Narvert system, every cop in the sector is going to come running. Let's see, where's this? Narvert Purple Power Solutions? Nope. Alright. Anything in the cargo bay? Yep, microwave cooling hose as well. Sell those in Narvert. Oh, excellent. Congratulations on that. So does that make you... How close are you to triple elite? Gear up.
Retracting
Landing
landing
locks
mode.
are off. Take care when exiting the port.
Yep, we're in an expansion state, so we get to... Once the state ends, then we get to check the local news and see where we expanded to. And I get to see about getting myself cleared of a murder charge.
Now left the port perimeter. Traffic control out.
It's a long story. Actually, it's a very short story that involves a misunderstanding, high-caliber weaponry, and a dead civilian. Oops. Oh, I know I'm guilty. Look, it was in a Haz-Res zone. It was in a Haz-Res, and the person that I had the lock on, and confirmation that they were wanted, chaffed just as I was opening fire with everything. And my shots went wide. Actually, my shots went everywhere. And what happened was the civilian that they were shooting at caught a stray shot, and then the pirates blew him up. So I got an assault charge, and it was close enough to them blowing up. I got the murder charge. That's my story, and I am sticking to it. Your Honor, it was collateral. Yeah. I know, the local cops don't, well, any cops don't take kindly to things like that, and extenuating circumstances, blah, blah, blah. Which is why I'm happy it happened in the Narvert system, because I'm in well enough that if I do get scanned, I should be close enough to the door that I can just zip on in without too much trouble. That doesn't mean I'm not taking precautions, though. Falcon to Lacey, Kilo Yankee Lima, request docking clearance.
Requesting dock.
Yes, authorization only. There's my authorization, pad 4-1.
Prep for arrival on landing pad 2-1.
Don't mind me. Gear down.
The gear is down and locked.
We would like to remind all commanders to avoid blocking access to docking pads during arrival and departure.
Hello, I'm Age. Yeah, it's a bit of a show. It's always a bit of a show here. Oh, good idea. the full 16,000 M HOTUS, like throttle and stick, or just the stick? Or is it the full, like, God tier deluxe bundle with the rudder pedals as well? So yeah, we're in the Merchant Marine today, IMage. Narvert is in an expansion state. No missions that I remember taking, yep. Nice setup. I can recommend. I thought for a moment that said Justice Lamb wants to go to the Bacon Worlds. Alright, everybody on board. I know, right, Vox? The Bacon Worlds. Why does a lamb want to go to the Bacon Worlds? No. God, that's still taunting and tempting me. Tapina's Terminal. Galaxy map.
Galaxy map.
Yeah, there was something they wanted to go to the Beacon Worlds, but I misread it and it looked like the Bacon Worlds. Okay, where is Tapina's Terminal at? Right. Well, it doesn't look like it's any kind of security. Alright, we'll take that mission, we'll put a pin in it for now. Because I can't swap over to another ship, what with all the passengers on board this one. It is the 10% penalty on the ship's bought value. So yes, you get it at a 15% discount, but you're also going to sell it for the same proportion.
Landing couple of disengaged. Watch for oncoming
Gear up.
traffic when passing through the airlock.
Gear coming up.
And that only counts towards hull value. You can sell the internal components separately for... you can sell the internal components separately for their full value, if I remember right. The selling price includes the price you bought it at, yeah.
Flight control out.
Yeah, it's kinda... It's not the greatest outside right now. Don't want to go there, we want to go here first. We'll go have a look around with the Scarab and see what we can scarab up. You know, I've mentioned it before, but if anybody remembers or is even familiar with the original PC MechWarrior game, the one where you play Gideon Braver and the Blazing Aces Battle Mech Lance, they had a data worksheet for the mercenary contract, and you argued over... You got to submit bids and accept counter proposals for how much you got paid, how much they were going to cover for the costs you incurred, and how much salvage you could get out of the deal. Oh, that's no good, Eldani. Sorry to hear that. But yeah, I would love something like that in Elite, where you got to, you know, submit bids and get counter bids for, you know, based on how fast you wanted it done, how much danger was involved, etc., etc. But it was a real simple interface. I mean, it showed the contract, and it showed the 3 fields that you could modify, and then you use the arrow keys to up the percentages or the price. Nothing terribly fancy about it, but... yeah. Yep. Also, another game that I was looking up that I realized could, you know, has some really strong potential, either for Elite or Star Citizen or whatever, or if it were remade in this day and age. If anybody is familiar with the Infogrames version... yeah, Infogrames was their name, not Infogames. A game called I-War, or Independence War, where you flew a ship and you had to also handle you had stations for helm, engineering, command, weapons, and I think communications or ECM. And if they were able to make that game, it was just a bunch of one-shot missions, you know, kind of a branching mission tree, 40 missions over the course of the game, and you controlled a small warship. And it had Newtonian flight models, it had flight assist on and off, it had real space, super cruise, and hyperdrive. A lot of things you're familiar with from Elite. Oh, that would be interesting. The MechWarrior worksheet over the engineers. Yeah, I could see that. But no, Independence War. I mean, look it up. It was a game released in 97, 98, I want to say, but very good.
Delay Kilo Yankee Lima. Permission is required before docking procedures can begin, Commander.
Yep, got your permission right here.
Designated pad number 38.
Copy 3-8. Gear down.
Deploying gear.
Excuse me, bit of a hiccup there.
Wish a safe journey to all departures.
Colony Wars. I think I may have heard of it.
Enjoy your stay with us.
Yes, there was a sequel, Independence War 2. Took place... was it, I want to say...
Incoming message.
it was either 30, 50, or 100 years after the original game. Alright, let's go have a look at this other installation. Gear up.
Landing
Truckin
gear
coupler
ready.
disengaged. Regulate your speed until free of station perimeter.
Let's go scout this place out. Jump.
Preparing for jump.
But I think the Independence War engineering interface was especially interesting because I've heard people say, you know, they want to be the engineer, or the ship's engineer. And-
Ship now engaged.
Thank
No
you, Alex.
movements detected.
Where was I? There's a counterpoint to that.
None detected.
Thank you, Alex. There's one side saying being ship's engineer would be really fun, really neat, and there's another side saying you'd have to do it really, really well, or it would be tedium simulator. And I can see both sides on this, but I think the Independence War engineering console was kind of the best of both worlds, because it was the engineer and only the engineer that could do power allocation. Shields, engines, weapons. The standard, you know, trinity of steel, if you will. And they were also the ones that could reroute power. They could modify certain components, like I think you could, does it run, like super pressurize the coolant in your particle beams so that the coolant would cool them down faster. You just super pressurized the pumps. But you also handled damage control and repair priority. So basically the auto repair system would always be on, but the engineer is the one who determined what components got fixed first. Do you want the guns back? Do you want the shields back? Do you want propulsion back? Something like that with, you know, that aspect or that version of multi-crew, I think would really catch on. Now, I don't believe Independence War, or I-War, depending on where it was released, I don't think it allowed for multi-crew, and I'm not sure there are any mods that allowed for it to have multi-crew, but that would be worth looking at, I think. I mean, the CG in it, the CG characters and everything are laughable by today's standards, but at the time they were state-of-the-art, and if you look past that, the story is pretty darn good. The game starts with a 15-minute intro cutscene talking about the first captain of the first of these Corvette-class starships, which became very, very popular and like the backbone of the Federal Navy, on some kind of full motion but CG rather than rather than motion capture or live action. But yeah, you had the captain of the first of these Corvette-class ships, the Dreadnought, and how it tells the story of his amazing sacrifice at some battle or another. Became a legend in the Federal Navy. And then, how'd it go? It wasn't until 3 years later that he got to figure out all the circumstances behind his death. Because you get sent in to salvage a ship a few years later, and you find the hulk of the Dreadnought. And you plug your command section in, and actually the command sections of the ships could be jettisoned from the main body. But it's interesting that the command sections look a whole lot like Cobra 3's. So if you could take a Cobra 3 and then plug it into the bridge module of a ship, and turn it into a much bigger ship. So that's what they did in Independence War, and you plugged in this command module to the hulk of the Dreadnought, and you've got the captain's ghost in the machine talking to you. And he is not happy that the Federal Navy decided to copy him when he should be dead and resting. Okay, so we're just going to do a quick recon here of Tapanus Terminal. See what kind of place it is, whether I can set down or whether I use the frag cannons or what.
Orbital flight engaged.
Or if I just set down and use the SRV and hunt some stuff nearby. Coming in awfully hot though, so we're gonna roll around and bleed off some speed. That's better. Not much of a place, are ya? Gear down.
Deploying landing gear.
Drive assist.
Getting some long distance scans too, so we'll see what we can find here. So let's clear out the excess data as well. Anything I can really get rid of here that's good? Cargo material composition, don't want to drop that. It's very rare, very rare, Very common. There we go. Oh, please, I barely hit that bump. Mission target, and it's all clean. Damn. And there's a do not disturb gate around there. Okay. Well, we'll go this way a little bit then and see if we can't find something that's a mission target and illegal. Wanted. Because I really don't want to be... Really? That was enough to... Stupid rocks. Stupid rocks. I don't want to be wanted in two major systems. One of them being my home system and the other one being close enough. That would be a beautiful thing. Balance.
Neutralize power.
Sulfur, nickel, phosphorus. Do I need any of those? Need some nickel. And need some sulfur. Alright. There, thought I was getting a high reading there for a moment. Yeah, right there. Pull you back out. Good, there we go. Ta-da! Alright, come on. Well, how in the hell did I pull that off? Now that I am very thoroughly messed up in my... There we go. Keep heading towards the ringed planet, which is a beautiful view, I gotta say. Engines.
Transferring power to engines.
Anyway, it looks like I'm getting some higher band readings up here, so... Alright, sounds good. Have a good holiday, and... and hope to see you again soon. Take it easy. Kobo, what gets a 10? The flip and the landing, or the view? Either way, I think I'm doing... Let's see here. Let's get back on track there. There's something out here, obviously. But it's artificial. Oh, no, you don't. No, 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 no. I think that was a better landing. I think I pulled off a good save there. Alright, here we are. That's right, moissanite. Hi, boys. Wanted. Weapons.
Power to weapons.
Target destroyed.
That's what I was looking for.
Cargo suit deployed. Jet recall.
Yeah, I spotted it. Consumer tech. Well, the ship will be close enough here that... Yep, I zoomed out to spot the fence. You couldn't have landed any closer, could you?
I'm here.
Alright, we're gonna move you closer is what we're gonna do. There, you see, Alex? There's a landing spot right over here. There's a bunch of landing spots right here.
Drive assist on. Low gravity warning. Cargo suit deployed.
Okay, let's see what the fun stuff is over here. Oh no. Oh no. Ah, screw it. Ah, resonating separators. Seriously? Come on. Getting hung up on that? And geological separators. Or geological equipment, anyway. Alright, so let's go find a few more of those skimmers to take out. Stupid rocks. Stupid, stupid rocks. Engines.
Converting power to requested system.
Alright, getting another high reading to my right. Actually, what's this? Back the way I came, is that just more of the wreckage, or is that something else? Must just be the wreckage. Okay, so let's go back this way. Let's see, it's getting a high reading at heading 161. Let's call it thereabouts, or yeah. This thing is squirrely. Alright, reading at 175. Really wish I had directional thrusters in this thing. Changing my heading would be real nice right about now. Really? Seriously? Seriously, again? Yeah, I suppose. Still a pain in my butt. So, chasing after skimmers in an SRV, it's not the fastest way of making money, it's just one of the surest ways. Looks like I've got two separate readings here. One of those is this. I really hope I didn't just roll back into the way I came. Got a fence, whatever it is. Nope, this is new. Polymers. One word, son. Plastics. And a canister of consumer technology. Okay. Hi. Weapons.
Diverting power to weapon.
know what? Screw it. Turret.
Target destroyed. Ship recall.
That's true. It is better than mining. A little bit more. Well, okay, it depends on the excitement, but at least... Yeah, at least I don't have skimmers coming up to me every 5 minutes while I'm searching going, "What are you hauling?" Okay, Alex, are you actually going to drop down, somewhere close? Maybe? Haha. Lol, no. Still getting some interesting readings over that way, though, so... It's maybe double profit.
I'm here.
Yeah, you're here. You're... Alex, you're half a click away on a wide open plain. Once again, I've got to reposition you. See this, Alex? These are all the places you could land. Here's one.
Drive assist on. Low gravity warning. Ground AC deployed.
Whoa. Hi there, friend. Shield emitters? Oh, come on. Yep, activate those defense systems, I dare ya. Okay, shield emitters. Anything else? This thing. Jadeite. Oh, buddy, we'll get you to the SAR representative down at Glidden. He'll be good as new. Thawed with nothing more than a headache if you're lucky. Yeah, I'm still getting high band readings over here. Oh, it's these two things. Well, I can call the ship back for those later. Okay, so what are these high band readings here? Is this just the outpost? Yeah, it's just this. Engines.
Diverting power to engines.
Well, keep on heading towards this ringed gas giant. We'll get there eventually. Okay, another high band reading, actually. It's faint, but it's there. There it is. That's a very high band reading. Well, skimmers are skimmers and salvage is salvage. Let's see what we get. Pushing the sensors out to maximum range and still not seeing much of anything, but... well. Not a surprise. The sensor range on an SRV, other than the wave scanner, is just abominable. I guess maybe it's trying to discern through all the ground clutter, but... I'd love to be able to engineer the SRV. Maybe greater, greater jump fuel or something. Play with the capacitor on the thing, or buff the guns, or something. Better suspension. That'd be a nice one. And again, we've got a fence, and we've got friends. Just the one. Weapons.
All power to weapons.
Go away. Engines.
Max engines.
Yep, and now I'm leaving a trespass zone. More faint high band readings this way. See what that pulls up. I swear to Jeebus if the scanners are picking up the planet. How many more of these things I got? 5 left. Head towards these strong low band readings and see what picks up. At the very least, maybe we'll pick up some good materials. Okay, and there's the new high band. Phosphorus, sulfur, iron, nope. Howdy, Hank. How you doing there, buddy? Looks like the high band reading I was picking up was that Defense Force ship. It's too bad. Or maybe not. Sulfur, phosphorus, zinc, carbon, yttrium. Well, maybe the yttrium's worth something. No, I'm picking up something other than the System Defense Force. High band readings this way. Little tiny rock manages to knock me off course that much. Frontier, please fix this. Ah, damn it. Maybe it is that ship. But there's something else over here. And it's not the ship. Frontier, please, all the things, yeah. That's not an inaccurate statement. And now I'm just finding these singular ones. Weapons.
Max weapons.
Target destroyed.
Another intel package. Got for that big table of a rock. Engines.
All power to engines.
People have asked me in the past, why don't you just get out in the SRV and shoot up skimmers? Well, this is kind of why. I mean, I'm trying to do things the mostly safe way because, well, I'm trying to build up as much cash as I can. But usually I like doing things the fun way, which is come screaming in, out of orbit, deploy all the guns, and rain hellfire down from above. It's kind of more my style. Oh, that would be fun. Yeah, sniper SRV. Yes, please. That's a lot of mercury in here. This pleases me. And also picking up some high readings. Yeah, a sniper, a railgun on an SRV, that would be glorious. Have one friend attacking an installation or something from the sky while that SRV is just kind of waiting in the background. Anything pops their head over the horizon or over that hill and zot. Well, yes, but you see, I came from a little place called Mason City, Iowa, where there were 4 Superfund sites in the city limits. So this is like being back in home. This explains so much. Yeah, Mason was an interesting place. But it was home. I take it you came from a place that, if the EPA had their druthers, would have rather been burnt. Putting the super in Superfund. No, you dolt, that's supposed to be Super Friends. Ah, nice high band readings. Please, please be 3 skimmers. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that would do it. Alright, we got high range, high band readings right ahead, and we've got mid-range readings just to the right. Hi there. Weapons.
Powering and deploying weapon.
Engines.
Power diverted to engines.
Yeah, trespass zone. If anybody is familiar with a, God, now I feel old. As I'm about to say old cartoon, called Megas XLR. There was a great episode with a creature voiced by Michael Dorn called the Regis Mark V. And its introduction was, "Do not panic. You will all die." Yeah, seem to be running into a high number of crashed nav beacons. It's almost like the navigational... the local navigational, astrogational situation is pretty poor. Megas XLR deserved so much love. You are correct. I've heard the tales of what season 3 would have been like, and it would have been glorious. It's like Gurren Lagann met, 40k orcs. Coop and Jamie were Gork and Mork. Well, that can only mean Dave Lister and Starbug are kind of newting around up above. Trick shot into the white hole. Nav beacon tipping. And we've got another fenced off area up here. With a lot of cargo canisters. Alright, we're going to approach on this ridge line here. And just for the sake of speed, call the ship back. Hey guys, been looking for you. Weapons.
Transferring power to weapons.
Alright, we made the money. We did the thing. And we got the ship. You know, it strikes me, if I painted that thing in orange, I could probably land at Autobot City with it. And if anybody gets that reference, excellent. Good on you.
I'm here.
That would be a glorious thing, iMage. And we aren't even going to worry about the cargo laying around there. We're just going to head home. Let's see. We're going to close this down so it stops beeping at me. There we go. Gear up.
Landing gear up.
Oh yeah, that would be neat. Be able to just drive on board the ship instead of getting hauled up. You know, if I get high enough, I ought to be able to clear this thing. Jump.
Preparing for jump.
Oh, this is going to be a low... It'll work. Well, not as bad, I guess. There was one system I jumped out of, and I must have just cleared a ridgeline by about a meter at FTL speeds.
Confirming exit point telemetry. Stand by. Gathering information. Cartography updated.
I'd love to see a low altitude jump like with that effect you see in like... Oh, in a lot of anime, when there's a lot of power being generated, where small stones start rising up in the air. Or, I guess the latest example has been in the Last Jedi trailers. Where you see those little small stones rising up with all the power. I'd love to see an effect like that when you're prepping, when you're charging up for a jump near a surface. Yeah, atmospheric jumps with the White Star and B5. That made a mess, I remember. I'm never gonna get it. Also, Star Trek 4. That must have been a hell of a shockwave when that bird of prey went to warp inside the atmosphere. Because at least with a White Star, you're jumping into another, you're jumping into another dimension there. You're opening a gateway and then stepping through. With a warp drive, nope. Should have rung the planet like a bell. Yeah. Yeah. Honey, I'm home.
Delay Kilo Yankee Lima. Please comply with flight regulations as you approach the station, Commander. Landing permitted. Clear for landing on docking bay 4-1.
Copy 4-1. Gear down.
Lowering landing gear.
Ensure you have received authorization before entering the docking bay. If you don't have access permission, please exit the facility immediately.
Landing complete. Clear to disembark.
Okay, so turn in that mission and make my millions. Don't need any of that, to be honest. Okay, and we've got one escape pod that you might be interested in taking off my hands here. Geological equipment, palladium, platinum. Goslerite. Don't even know. Jadeite. Moissanite. Planting skimmers. Isn't that what we're doing already? I feel like that's what we're doing already. Okay, anybody? It's here. Hey, take a quick jog out to Colonia. That's... no. I'm not hauling any passengers. What have I got for fun here? Could have sworn I had an Imperial. Oh, there it is. I haven't flown this in a while. Set up some skimmers or some kind of self-constructing equipment. Self-erecting base. What do I got on this thing? Lasers. I haven't flown this thing in a while. Gear up.
Gear up.
Ship released. Departure authorized.
Boy, this thing just sounds nice. Oop. Minor case of a planet in the way. Fix that. NPC large crew management. You know, the duty officer cycle from Star Trek Online, and I've mentioned this before, but it seems kind of the way to go, where you get these duty officers like, you know, a security officer or an astrobotanist or a geologist, etc., and you can take them out on missions. Like, just assign them to missions. I have a friend, Commander Jera Heavensrun, who plays a lot of STO, and they like to do things like Yeah, there's really positive outcomes for missions, and there's really negative. There's like, critical success, success, failure, critical failure. And critical failure for this mission because they decided to stick a Cardassian diplomat on the working at the Bajoran embassy on Bajor. Critical failure. Protests. You don't say. Okay, what's going on? Incoming enemy alert. Angela Wind Flashheart. I don't see a thing. No, I don't think they do, because it's in a totally separate timeline than the novels. What do you think on the design of the new DS9? I am not 100% there on it. I like the idea, I just don't like the execution. Yeah, Kobo, in the new novels a few years back, DS9 was somebody bombed the fusion reactors and caused the station to explode. And the Federation decided, well, what with DS9 being so, the Bajor sector as a whole being so critical to, the Gamma Quadrant and just events happening with the Cardassians and the Bajorans and the Breen, they decided to build a new DS9, DS9-2. Made it out of a, what'd they call it? A Frontier-class starbase. A starbase so big they had to build 3 temporary starbases to construct the damn thing. Quark was fine. Quark is actually the, I want to say he's the new Ferengi ambassador. I believe it's Quark's bar, casino, holosuite, and embassy. In fact, I believe Quark is in a relationship with the station commander, Captain Ro Laren. It's kind of a kinky relationship, too, if I remember right.
Orbital flight engaged.
Yeah, Ro Laren was in TNG. She was a Bajoran ensign. And then she left Starfleet and joined the Maquis. And then, either during or just after the Dominion War, when the Federation was, when Starfleet was looking for a lot of bodies, they needed a lot more people to crew the ships, and Ro re-upped. That wouldn't be a bad idea, IMH. Very thematically appropriate.
Kutamaya, Kilo Yankee Lima. Please check your speed on approach to this facility.
Dr. Bashir is actually a war criminal now.
05.
Hello there, Wolfpack. Gear down. Hope you're having a good Wednesday. Gear down.
Gear down.
Oop, came in a little fast on this thing.
Caution, deploy landing gear.
Gear down.
Landing gear deployed.
There we go. Yeah, Bashir, long story short, the Andorians were having a reproductive crisis.
Enjoy your stay.
And Bashir dug into some heavily locked down knowledge. Stuff that was locked away in an archive, in a crater, 1,000 meters below the moon's surface. And then isolated from any computer access, and then put into a vault that was purposely misnumbered. And he still found it and gave that knowledge to the Andorians to help them solve their solve what was their declining birth rates. Basically everything but put into a disused lavatory with the lights out in the basement with a sign that says "Beware the leopard." Alright, where to now? Clary Port. Anyway, the Federation stripped his medical license, and Starfleet wants him as a criminal, as a war criminal for getting into that data. Gear up.
Retracting level.
Because a lot of it was also associated with a little thing called Project Genesis back in the day. But the Andorians have made him a national hero, and they actually temporarily seceded from the Federation, and they said one of their conditions for re-entry would be that Bashir be exonerated. Let's see here. Riker is finally made Admiral. He was captain of the Titan for a few years, and then he was made Admiral and put in charge of Starfleet's long-range exploration programs. His flagship is now the Titan. So there's a brand new bridge crew on the Enterprise E. Picard's still in charge, but Worf is his first officer. And they've got a half-Vulcan first contact officer who loves two things. Loves playing D&D on the holodeck, and loves prank wars. Well, I heard rumors there was a space station around here somewhere. Yeah, I would definitely pay to see this on TV over Discovery, but they didn't see fit to put me in charge, unfortunately. What else? What else has happened? What else is shaken up in the Star Trek universe? Ben Sisko came back from the Celestial Temple, and he's now captain of the USS Robinson, Galaxy-class starship. Let's see. I've mentioned the Borg invasion. The Borg were not happy with the Federation after what Janeway did.
Maya, Kilo, Yankee, Lima, permission is required before docking procedures can begin, Commander. Docking request approved. Lambda designated pad number 21.
Copy 2-1. Also, the Star Trek New Frontier books are really, really good, and I really liked the comic. Gear down.
Down.
Captain Mackenzie Calhoun and his, well, misfits would be a good way to put it. Ah, thank you.
Contact confirmed.
Hopefully one of the surviving cosmonauts.
Commander.
I was just reading up on all the accidents that the Soviet Union had with their space program, and the disaster that was Soyuz 1. Oh wait, not passengers, missions. Okay, takes care of that. Next stop, the Didic system. Oh, right. Those, the rumors of. Gear up.
Retracting landing gear.
Take care with me.
Kinda in that halfway zone between government cover-up and urban legend. You aren't quite 100% sure either way. Oh, and Kobo, one of my favorite things from the new Star Trek stuff. Grand Nagus Rom, who put in educational reforms, allowing Ferengi women to obtain, to own property and go to school. When people protested all of these changes, he started charging them. Then he used the funds from the protests to fund the program.
Incoming mission critical message.
Ah, time bonus. I can do a time bonus. Just right plant. It is just right plant. What's the other major thing I heard? Oh yeah, Picard. Picard and Beverly Crusher finally got married. They have a little son. I think he's 4 years old now, Renee. So in the novels, they are actually closing in on the time that the Hobus supernova from the 2009 Star Trek film is going to happen. They are rapidly approaching that moment. And Star Trek Online actually explained why this supernova shockwave ended up propagating at faster than light speeds. Because you watch the 2009 film and you go, what the hell is that? Yeah, that was the name of Picard's nephew, the one who died in the fire. You watch the 2009 Abrams film and you go, wait a minute, it's a supernova. How can it threaten anything outside of its local star system, let alone the galaxy? Well, Star Trek Online explained that part. It was actually a bomb. And it was a bomb using tekasite, which is an explosive booster, trilithium, This one actually worked. Used trilithium, which we saw in Generations can cause supernovas. And, what's this? Nothing I'm worried about. And it used protomatter, which was used in the Genesis device to cause the Genesis wave to propagate at FTL speeds. No Omega particles. That was saved for the cartoon that never got off the ground. Gear down.
Deploying landing.
Oop, this is going to be United landing. We're here. Get out.
Engines disengaged.
Oop. And somebody's here to open fire on me. So I'd really like that. Thank you. I'd really like that to be able to turn these missions in so I can defend myself. More transactions? Nope, no transactions. Gear up.
Retracting landing gear.
And nothing. Although... Yep, that was their high wake. Pity I don't have a scanner on board this thing. Yeah, that was my favorite plot hole actually is the one where they actually wrote themselves. They canonically closed the hole. The episode Threshold was terrible. Let's just cover that one now. But sometime later, when somebody goes, "Oh, Tom Paris, I've heard of you. You're the man that broke the Warp 10 barrier." And he goes, "I've never broken Warp 10. Don't know what you're talking about." Yeah, but yeah, the Ocampo were not a well thought out idea. Something like that. It was just silly, and yeah. It was a silly idea. But later on they did use the slipstream drive, which again in the novels has become the new way of travel for the most advanced starships. Voyager ended up as the flagship of a fleet called Project Full Circle, which was designed to use those slipstream drives to go back and map the Delta Quadrant. So there's this great big queue at all the shipyards for getting ships retrofitted with this tech. Which is another nice thing, I think, that, the technology keeps going on. There's progression. That's one of the things I really, really loved about the Stargate the Stargate series, in that technology wasn't, a one-shot deal and then forgotten for the rest of the series. Everything got built upon. Gear down?
The gear is down and locked.
Oh, that was fun, but the Outrunner is a little bit more suited.
Landing complete. Docking restraints engaged.
Okay, who wants to go where? Colonia. Yeah, 7 is, I want to say, an advisor to the President of the Federation, or was, on all Borg matters, and also advanced nanotechnology and various other Borg-specific techs. No, nothing I can really do here. 14,000 light years, 22,000 light years. Let's not. Let's not. Here we go. More expansion data. It's not glamorous, it's not glorious. It's space truckin' for the faction. Gear up.
Landing gear.
Detach confirmed. You're clear to leave. Speed restrictions are now lifted. Flight control out.
One of the other major characters they've brought in is Admiral Leonard James Akar, which was from... When we last met him, he was a baby that had just been delivered in one of the original series episodes.
Incoming mission critical message.
But he joined Starfleet and rose through the ranks, and he is now the head admiral. Older than dirt, meaner than hell, and nobody says no to him. Well, I take that back. He was named in honor of Leonard McCoy and Jim Kirk, who, one delivered him and the other one held off the enemy while he was delivered. So he holds those names in pretty high esteem. He offered Picard a promotion to the Admiralty. And by offered, I mean basically ordered. And Picard's response was no. There's a wise man who once told me, don't let them do anything to get you out of that chair. And Admiral Carr goes, well, that sounds like a kind of hippy-dippy idiot dreamer. Who told you that? James Kirk. Well, shit, I'm not getting you into the staff, am I? Speaking of Star Trek, as we go Star Trekking past the outpost, let's try that again. Falcon to Lacey, Kilo Yankee Lima, request docking clearance.
Request complete.
Boarding permission granted.
Gear down.
Lowering landing gear.
Missed it by that much.
Engines disengaged.
Oh yeah, Picard was... Yeah, Picard was holding that one back in reserve just in case, and it came in handy. Gear up.
Gear up.
Also, during the Borg invasion, there was an attempted mutiny on the Enterprise because some of the new crew didn't think Picard was properly equipped to fight the Borg. Well, that mutiny ended pretty quick when somebody broke the cardinal rule. Rule 1 of the mutiny was, don't shoot the Klingon, you'll only piss him off. Well, then somebody went and shot the Klingon. Turns out it pissed him off. And if you remember what Worf did to Weyoun near the, Weyoun 7 or something, near the end of the Dominion War, where he just kind of dropped one hand down on his head and unscrewed him like a pop-top? Pretty much that. Yeah. There have even been some novels dealing with Wesley as a traveler. Yeah, pretty much. And then he handed the reins over to Martok, which was pretty damn cool. Near the end, Gowron was just getting crazier and crazier, and well, the eyes weren't helping. Gowron had the crazy eyes. He's always had the crazy eyes. There we go. There's my parking spot. That is not my... Where in the blankety hell? There you are. Gear down.
Down and locked.
Yeah, Gowron did the crazy really, really well. But no, Worf is the new number one. I'll take that. Anybody else want to go to Narvert while we're here? But you. No. You? No. Nope. Alright, well. Where are we going now? Looks like straight back to Narvert. Let's see, Worf is number one. Geordi is still chief engineer. Gear up.
Landing gear raised.
But I can't remember. The bounty, that's got a couple of days left on it. Few days. You make 1 billion credits bounty hunting, nobody blinks an eye. You shoot one little civilian on accident, and someday, you know, somehow everybody loses their head. Well, that just means I gotta be careful getting back into Narvert. Which is why I've got my smuggling ship here. Or my, I want to say, surreptitious ship. Yeah, let's call it surreptitious. But if you get a chance to go back and find some of the old comics, look for the New Frontiers comics. Again, an interesting crew, an interesting captain. Their security chief is basically a 9-foot... He's basically a Discworld troll, except a lot smarter. As I recall, they were looking for one of their officers. They beamed aboard a Romulan captain. And Captain Calhoun just asked him, "Where's Lieutenant Salida?" And this Romulan captain says, "I have no idea what you're talking about." At which point their security chief walks over and puts a giant hand on top of and around the Romulan captain's head and says, "You know, if I close my fist right now, all I'm going to do is feel a vague resistance and a wet stickiness that I will clean off with a towel." Oh, that Lieutenant Salida. Right. Lovely girl. Wish she were here right now. To keep him occupied while they searched his ship, they had the security chief just put him in the conference lounge and start showing him family vacation slides. Every time for the rest of the series, whenever somebody asked about that guy, "Are you holding him captive? Are you torturing him?" "No, we just got him in the conference lounge." Zach's showing him vacation pictures. "You heartless son of a bitch." "Where's the commander? Do you have him under lock and key?" "No, we got him in the conference room. Kebron's showing him vacation pictures." "You heartless bastard." Gear down.
Deploying gear.
Attention. Deploy landing gear.
Then, of course, there's the captain himself, the Romulan captain. I give up. I surrender. What? I'll tell you anything.
Landing success.
You think we're torturing you?
Shut down.
You aren't! Oh no, we're just keeping you busy while we tear apart your ship looking for clues. Can we please go back in time to the point where you threatened to crush my head? Because I'm realizing I made the wrong choice. And more expansion data, alright. Well, I've been flying expansion data for nearly 2.5 hours, and anything in the cargo there is, we'll turn that in. But I think I'm going to call it for the day right here. It's been good conversation. I realize it hasn't been the most exciting in terms of combat, strange new worlds, etc., but, well, sometimes you gotta support the home fort a little bit too. I'm Mr. Moo. Fly safe, everybody. Always, always good to talk to you. Talk, chat, hang out. You guys are what makes these cargo runs bearable. Take care, everybody. Fly safe. If you can't fly safe, fly dangerous. If you can't do either of those, check your controls and make sure you got everything plugged in. Take care, everybody.